Right now, outgoing Mayor Tiffany Henyard's name has been removed from a sign outside Village Hall in South Suburban Dolton. In its place, incoming Mayor Jason House's name.
Have you heard from Tiffany? Has she conceded? Has she said she accepts the results to you yet?
I have not heard anything from former Mayor Henyard.
Riding around and get it. Riding around and getting it.
Who easily defeated Henyard in February's Democratic primary and then won the April 1st general election. He'll take the oath of office May 5th. While Henyard's name has been removed from the sign, she remains listed as mayor on the village website.
All right, you guys, it looks like all this hard work the trustees have been doing over the past 4 years and all the residents who have stayed consistent with putting that pressure on Tiffany Henyard, it looks like all that is finally paying off and her name has finally been removed, and the person whose name that probably should have been up there in the first place has been put up there. That person is former senior trustee, now Mayor Jason House. And it seems like it should have been there all along. But the thing is, Jason House was asked to be mayor.
State your name.
Jason House.
Having been duly elected to the office of trustee.
Having been duly elected to the office of trustee.
I was on that ticket. I was asked many times to run for mayor, but at that time I elected against running for mayor. I'm here to give my support and endorsement for trustee Tiffany Henyard. My decision of who I supported for mayor, I greatly regret. I bought into it hook, line, and sinker 100%. I thought that, okay, if you're saying talk to your board, work with your board.
You cannot, and I repeat, cannot pay a bill because you choose to. The entire body have agreed to not pay that one particular vendor. So what I'm saying, or what I'm asking as a trustee, is that you report to your board. That's the structure, that's the order that you ignore every time. What I'm asking you, if you want something paid, put it before your board.
We're going to make sure all of this happens. And to see that it was lies.
People wanted him to be mayor. They were in support of him running for mayor. But I feel like Jason House is the type of person who likes to think things through before acting on it. So either he didn't feel like he was ready to take on that responsibility at that time or just wasn't willing to at that time. Tiffany Henyard, on the other hand, definitely wanted that position at any means necessary. She's the type of person that goes for what she wants, diving in head first. Now that could be a good thing for you and others around you if your intentions are good. And if anyone has been following this whole thing long enough, we know the intentions behind a lot of the stuff she has done has not been for the residents' best interest, but for her own interest, in my opinion. And through this whole process, we've been shown on multiple occasions how she's full of double standards, narcissism, and I would dare to say she's a sociopath as well. But these are all my opinions, and like I've said before numerous times, you guys, that I'm not a professional in human behavior, so I don't claim to diagnose anyone with any type of personality disorder. But you guys know, if you've watched my channel, you watch some of my videos, at least 3 of my videos that I've displayed on multiple occasions of her being a narcissist, hypocrite, double standards across the board from when she became mayor as opposed to when she was a trustee before. So if you want to get caught up on this Tiffany Henyard drama, and if you also want to see some past footage about her in comparison to her being a mayor, I have a lot of videos like that on this channel. And today we're going to do that again. Looking back on trustee Tiffany Henyard, we're going back to 2014. She's brand new. She's fresh in there. She's trying to, prove herself that she's there for the residents. And we're going to hear her talk about something familiar, something she even pushed all the way through her mayoral tenure. All right. And that is, who can guess? Houses. Yes. Whoever guessed that before I said it, go ahead and put a house emoji down in the comment section along with your comment. She's going to be talking about housing and abandoned properties in Dolton and how she wants the residents to get first dibs. So before we get to 2014, trustee Tiffany Henyard, you guys, if you're new here and like what you hear, please leave this video a like. And if you're a returning subscriber, please remember to leave it a like as well. Let's start the show.
And for all you that don't know who I am trustee Tiffany Henyard. I'm chairperson of housing. So if you have any problems or issues as it relates to housing, please contact me, or you can meet me here at Village Hall. Please take advantage of the foreclosure defense attorney while he's here. And for those that's watching on Channel 4, please contact the foreclosure. I'm sorry. Please contact the foreclosure defense attorney so that you can get the help you so desire. The reason why, I get calls when your house has been taken. I prefer you to try to reach out to the help that's offered to you so that you don't lose your home. And with that being said, I would like to start our agenda. The first thing on the agenda is Dolton abandoned property. I want to hear from you guys, the residents. I would like to know, how do you feel about this issue? What would you like us to do? I want you to talk to the board. I'd like you to stand up and be heard. I don't want you to be silent. I would like you to give like 2 or 3 minutes of your time and tell us what you feel we should do to get rid of the abandoned property. Anybody like to speak? Next on the agenda, we have enforcement of crime-free housing.
So that's Trustee Tiffany Henyard introducing herself to the residents, and there goes Stan Brown, popping up. Always popping up somewhere behind Tiffany Henyard. So as we can see, of course, they went way back together.
Now, that's not fair, sneaking up on a man eating a Tiffany juicy burger.
Hot mess. But back to what I was saying. With her being the chairperson of the housing committee, it wouldn't seem suspicious of her implementing, programs as far as trying to get the residents houses and things like that. The thing is, she was heavily into real estate, so I kind of feel like that might have been a conflict of interest in itself. But then at the same time, not really though, right? Because that would just show that she has experience with housing. So I just wonder if her whole history with real estate, including that Section 8 mode house that was infamous on the news, I wonder if that was why people were hesitant to get on board with some of these ideas that she brought up. And for any of you guys who don't know, Tiffany Henyard rented out a house to a Section 8 tenant while she was a trustee. The house was in deplorable condition. It had mold. The person had to move out, stay in a hotel. The village paid for the hotel. There were accusations that she used her power as a trustee to pass the inspection, so on and so forth. Just a whole hot mess in itself. I did a video on that as well if you guys want to check that out after this video, though of course I will leave it down in the description for you. So that might have had something to do with why people stopped trusting her and why she was eventually pulled off the housing committee. But let's continue, and we're going to hear a little bit more from 2014 Trustee Tiffany Henyard.
To add to that, I have a statement I would like to make. It gives me great pleasure to announce that we are having a property auction. Yes, you heard right. We are unloading our village-owned property inventory. This auction will be held in April. That's 2 months away. The reason why we placed this in the month of April is to give the residents the opportunity to file their taxes and use their money to bid on village-owned property at a bargain. Otherwise, call the bug and torture your loved ones for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you just can't miss. Again, I'm excited to offer select properties to residents, and I urge all to participate. FYI, for those participating please understand what you're getting yourself into. I know most things look like an opportunity, but you might want to add up your funds and make sure you can afford this and also do the work, because you do have to put up an escrow. These properties are vacant and may need major work. This item is on the agenda today for vote, and I'm asking the board to support me in giving the residents the opportunity to purchase village-owned property.
The thing I found interesting about her announcing this information and telling the residents, hey, you can use your tax money, that's why we're doing it in April, to go ahead and get these properties. What she did differently as a trustee than what she did as a mayor is that she put a little disclaimer in there, right? She's saying, hey, this might seem like an opportunity, but beware. You need to really make sure you have the money because there's escrow, there's work to be done on these properties. She actually gave some kind of disclaimer. So then that too would make the residents think like, oh, she actually does care about us. She wants us to have these properties, but then she's also looking out for our best interests at the same time. But what type of program was Mayor Tiffany Henyard trying to implement? You know, when her infamous block by block, right? She would present it before the board. There was never any real disclaimer or warnings in there like she used to give to the residents when she was a trustee.
Problem is, we keep spending money. You keep telling me tweak this, change this, do that, jumping through hoops to get something passed for the people. That's the problem. And I'm tired of asking you guys to do what's right and create or change whatever I'm creating to what you want so you can pass it. Put what you want in it. You guys aren't doing any of that. When I come up with something, it's still a problem. You won't pass anything that I put across the board. And that's fine. I just want the people to see that every time I initiate something, it's all the issue.
She was just always trying to push it, just trying to steamroll it through, but the trustees knew that that would not be a good idea. What would eventually happen is that multiple people would get into houses, get into these situations that they ultimately would not be able to afford, and then who would get the house? Right? It might go back to the village. Tiffany Henyard and company could snag it up. You know, I don't know. Those are just my thoughts on the situation. But the trustees knew something was going on, so they always would block by block. All right, pun intended. But let's go ahead and move on from that. And let's look at some other reasons as to how trustee Tiffany Henyard was able to build a type of trust between her and the residents and even fool some of them into thinking that she was actually there for them. Buying the residents' favor.
Thank you guys for coming out today. A couple of things. Tomorrow, I am having a pre-Thanksgiving dinner for you guys. It is free to all my Dolton residents. I always give back to my community over my 7 years sitting on this board. I always give back to my community. I am located at 15800 State inside South Suburban College. The name of my restaurant is called Good Burger.
Hey, it's your girl, Tiffany Henyard, owner of Good Burger. Hey, oh my God, it's been a long journey, but we finally made it.
I will be feeding everybody from 4 to 6, so come in, get free food, sit down, talk to me, ask any questions.
Hey, got to get it,
Bring a neighbor, bring some kids. It's free, you guys. You don't have to do anything or give anything. Just show up and come and talk to your trustee.
I got a surprise for y'all. Come on, follow me. Maybe I got to do running me challenge though first for y'all.
The people's trustee, that is.
I got my new food truck. Check me out right here. So guess what? If you got an event, a fest, an outdoor barbecue, a repass, a wedding, call me. Good Burger, Miss Good Burger that is, at 708-801-9082. We'll pull up on the scene for you. Hey, got to get it.
I got something for the seniors. I got free wigs for the seniors for Christmas. So if you guys need wigs, and also you guys know I'm a big advocate of cancer survival and just supporting you as you go through your situation. So reach out for that as well.
All right, let's look at another example of how trustee Tiffany Henyard would sort of buy the residents' favor, or at least attempt to buy the residents' favor. In this case I'm showing next, it didn't really work out so well for her. Let's watch.
Next, I don't know if you guys grabbed your tickets from off the table in the back. I don't know, did anybody grab these? So I'm gonna do the raffle now. If you do, pull it out real quick.
Hey, hold on. We can't do a raffle in the middle of a board meeting.
Raffle at a public meeting.
I can't
You
give
cannot
them a gift?
conduct a raffle during the course of a public meeting.
Come on.
Okay. Okay. Well, when can I put it? When can I do it? What was that?
After we adjourn.
Can you do it in public?
There wasn't nothing there. Normally, y'all have communications, and a person can do that. All I'm doing is giving holiday wreaths
I don't even
out.
know if it's legal to do it at all. An
A
individual
raffle.
running raffles.
I'm not giving anything but a holiday gift to the residents.
But it's
How
in
y'all talking about legal and stuff?
it's in the
Really?
government. Attorney Henyard, we getting legal advice here.
That's not even right. But don't worry about it. That's why I got my own attorney. That's okay.
So
Go ahead.
okay.
Well, you guys, I still have it. If you want to wait after the meeting, I will announce it. Thank you.
He's saying that you can't even do it in a government building. The attorney said.
To give residents
Well, I'm just going by what the legal advice
Murphy,
is.
really?
Really?
Wow. Petty. Okay.
As we can see, the mayor and the attorney is trying to tell Trustee Tiffany Henyard that as a government official and they're in a government building, that she can't do that. She can't go around giving out gifts to the residents. It might seem like something else or maybe a conflict of interest, but we know Tiffany Henyard is so hard-headed, okay? She doesn't listen to anyone. And of course now it's them being petty and they're picking on her. She's just trying to do something for the residents, and then she said she was gonna do it anyways.
Well, you guys, I still have it. If you want to wait after the meeting, I will announce it. Thank you.
Like, just ridiculous. So as we can see, she was pulling these type of shenanigans as a trustee, and something tells me that with more power and more money at her disposal, these little displays of generosity didn't go away. In fact, they probably just intensified. When she got access to more money and more power, things like cronyism and nepotism definitely started coming into play. That's at least what I've witnessed. All right, let's continue with another example as to why people voted for Tiffany Henyard. And this time we're going to have Trustee Brittany Norwood explain why she voted for Tiffany Henyard. Or shall I say why she voted for Trustee Tiffany Henyard, because that's the person who was able to convince people that she was the best choice for mayor of Dolton.
I'd like to just state that I've been here quite some time as a resident, 20 years, and I've been to pretty much every board meeting for the last 8 years. And in regards to the mayor, I've always looked up to her. In regards to her, how as trustee she stayed at every meeting. Hey, my goal is to speak up for the residents. Let's speak up for the residents. Residents, I am here for you.
Trustee Henyard.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, residents, I advocate for you. Currently, we have vacant property in the village of Dolton, and I am trying to get the board to allow you guys to have first dibs at the vacant properties. Currently, we gave it to a company, and I would like to see it given to the residents.
So I always admired how she'd say that.
All I'm saying is I'm for it as long as we can figure out how we're going to recoup the dollars. That's it. And it has nothing to do with safety. It's just the money. We keep trying to charge the residents for everything, but here we want to bring something new to the community where we're going to advocate and get the dollars from. That's it.
And I was thinking, hey, as trustee, when I was elected, I couldn't wait to speak up for the residents and to do the job that I told them that I'll do when I walked up to their door.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's yours truly, Trustee Tiffany Henyard. I'm out here canvassing in the village of Dolton for re-election, out getting my petition signed so you can get me back in office. See, we canvassing Dolton right now, door knocking, telling people what's going on in the community. Hey, stay alert, stay alive, pay attention to every politician and know that we care. The people's choice, yours truly, Trustee Tiffany Henyard, coming at you live. Much love.
I couldn't wait to speak up for the residents and to do the job that I told them that I'll do when I walked up to their door.
So as you guys can see, this kind of shows the hypocrisy once again between Trustee Tiffany Henyard and Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and Trustee Norwood just speaking up at a board meeting saying, hey, these were the reasons why I voted for you, and now that you're mayor, things have obviously changed. But let's move on to the next example I'm going to give of why people voted for Trustee Tiffany Henyard. And this board meeting, they're talking about the water. So this was something that Trustee Tiffany Henyard brought up, and it was about the residents' water not being shut off on specific days. Let's watch.
All right, next thing on the agenda is the water restoration service by Public Works after payment of bill. Trustee Henyard.
Thank you. Mary Kay, quick question. Was that ordinance, or did you ever find out?
My recollection is that the current procedure by Public Works for 48 hours to restore water is policy, not ordinance.
Okay. The reason why I put this on the agenda, you guys, is we got an issue in the village of Dolton, of course, with the water. You all know that. My issue is I get a ton of complaints. Unfortunately, you guys know I'm the people's trustee, so they call me with all their concerns. The biggest concern is someone, and I ain't gonna point fingers because people gonna say they don't know who did it, turned off someone's water over the 3-day holiday.
So did the mayor turn your water off during the pandemic?
No, but he had it shut off right before the pandemic was in full effect.
Someone, and I ain't gonna point fingers because people gonna say they don't know who did it, turned off someone's water over the 3-day holiday.
In
in January of 2020, see my federal court case 19 CV 7366, Downs versus Dolton. No due process in the village of Dolton.
My issue with that is, on Friday, if the person paid you your money, you should have went back and turned that water back on, especially knowing we're going to be shut down Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So that individual cannot get their water turned back on until Tuesday. So I'm advocating for the residents, once again, that this board put into effect that we turn people water back on, I want to say right away. And the reason why I'm saying right away, I'm going to give you an example. The city of Markham. I did my research. I'm not over this committee, but I do my research when you guys bring the complaint to me. They turn their water back on the same day. You got until 12 o'clock to pay the bill. When you pay the bill at 12, they send people out to cut it back on by 5 o'clock, end of business. So why can't we have the same services here in the village of Dolton? So that's what I'm advocating for. That's why I asked her, was it an ordinance, a law that we need to change, or anything we need to mimic?
One of the things, Trustee, is that the hours of the water department, Public Works is
3 o'clock.
7 to 3:30. Okay, and some days, depending on the amount of work that they have, they're doing shut-offs, and they may not be able to turn them all back on due to the significant amount that has been turned off, and it needs to be restored. So, do you want the water that has been turned off turned on the same day if it includes overtime?
Mayor, if they're making it work in their city, I don't see why we can't do the same.
I'm just asking.
If we had the manpower to go shut it off, I'm pretty sure we got the manpower to go cut it back on.
So here we are with the combativeness. You know, she's just sure they got the manpower to turn it back on since they done already turned it off. Maybe they have schedules they go by. I don't know. Call me crazy. Maybe they have other things to do than to wait on someone to finally pay their water bill. And then what are they supposed to stop everything they're doing, whatever schedule they were on, to then go and turn on this person's water bill who was delinquent in the first place? But let's go ahead and continue and see where this goes.
So if you're saying you want it all cut on by the same day, then I'm just asking you, do you want to pay overtime for all this water to be turned back on?
I was using that as an example so you guys can understand that other communities are doing that. I understand their time frame is different from ours. Ours is at 3:30, like you just stated. That means that we have to push our time back. So it don't have to be by 12 o'clock. It could be they pay the bill by 11 or whatever that's feasible to the village. That loans the resident gets service. That's what I care about. I don't think a person should be held accountable just because they didn't pay their bill, that they have to suffer for 3 days, Mayor.
This is just crazy if we listen to what she just said. She's saying she doesn't think a resident should be held accountable for not paying their bill.
I don't think a person should be held accountable just because they didn't pay their bill.
Like, how crazy is that? I mean, make it make sense. If you don't hold people accountable, they're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
I think that's unfair, and that's not human. We all human. We all make mistakes.
I agree with you. I agree with you. All I'm saying is that what the other trustee mentioned, the fact about creating a notice that gives them the time to pay their bill.
Okay, but Mayor, we mimic other communities. That's why I went and did some research to say if it's working over there, it can work over here. It starts at the top. The department head can structure a plan where this can work. I think we should at least attempt. We should try it. If we're getting a ton of complaints, we have to do something.
So naturally, you know, she has to go on her grandstand, you know, make the mayor look bad. We got to do something, Mayor. We can't keep letting the residents suffer. And you guys know how she does. All constantly campaigning. All right. We know the deal by now. Unfortunately, you know, the residents back then, they fell for the okie dokie, but the trustees didn't give up, nor did the residents who saw through her after all the shenanigans. But once again, if you enjoy these flashbacks and you like me doing a little comparison with Trustee Tiffany Henyard to Mayor Tiffany Henyard, ex-Mayor Tiffany Henyard, go ahead and drop a comment down below. Let me know if you want me to do more of these, and I definitely will. But that's going to be it for today, you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe.